Just when it seemed like Chrisean Rock were finally stepping into calmer waters, she found herself back in the spotlight. And once again, it was for all the wrong reasons. What began as a laid-back live stream quickly spiraled into something much bigger. Chrissy was stretched out on the couch, baby Chrisean Jr. close by, casually chatting with fans. Flashing that confident grin she is known for, the kind that says she has everything under control. But in an instant, that confidence cracked. A tiny slip, almost too quick to catch, shifted the entire mood. At first, it seemed harmless, barely a blip on the screen, but for the sharp-eyed viewers, it was enough to raise eyebrows. Before long, the internet did what it does best. Screenshots exploded across timelines, TikTok edits spun the moment into viral fodder, and Twitter users wasted no time dissecting every frame. What could have been brushed off as nothing instantly snowballed into yet another headline. Proof of how even the smallest misstep in Chrissy's world rarely goes unnoticed. What began as whispers about careless parenting or a reckless off-camera remark turned out to be something far more serious, hiding in plain sight. And just as the internet dragged Chrisean for the slip, a stunning twist emerged from that same live stream. Her baby, Chrisean Jr., long at the center of heartbreaking health struggles, displayed an undeniable sign of progress that left viewers in tears, sparking debate over whether this was the beginning of her redemption or simply another chapter in her ongoing chaos. For years, Chrisean Rock has embodied turbulence, transforming from a promising young athlete into a reality TV firebrand whose explosive personality has kept her name tied to drama, be it her volatile relationship with rapper Blueface, bitter public feuds, viral meltdowns, or legal issues. Every moment pulled her deeper into the storm just when she seemed close to calm. Yet motherhood shifted the narrative, adding higher stakes as the birth of her son reframed her story from tabloid spectacle to a deeply personal struggle. Born with health concerns that doctors feared would affect his development, baby Jr. became her most fragile responsibility. Fans watched her juggle fame and motherhood, divided in their judgment, some praising her as a young mother fiercely fighting for her child despite impossible odds and relentless online criticism, while others condemned her for appearing reckless, claiming she put her lifestyle above her son's needs. A tension that continues to shape how the world views both her chaos and her resilience. The internet has a way of holding on to viral moments, and for Chrisean, one resurfaced clip has continued to shape how people view her. Since then, every appearance she makes, whether on a live stream or in an interview, is picked apart, captured, and reposted within minutes. She is no longer simply seen as a celebrity but as a character in a non-stop reality show where the public feels entitled to judge her every action. This endless scrutiny has pushed her to be more careful with how she moves. Though she has admitted in interviews that the pressure of proving herself as a good mother to millions of strangers is overwhelming, especially since people only ever see fragments of her life online. The same raw, unfiltered energy that once made her beloved now often turns against her, as her impulsive way of speaking and acting keeps her in headlines more than she would like. In recent weeks, she seemed to be making a conscious effort to reshape her image, posting baby updates, sharing cooking videos, and showing quieter moments at home. Even Blueface, who is usually quick to stir things up, had been unusually low-key, which gave the impression that a calmer, more stable chapter might be unfolding. But that sense of peace was cut short during an unplanned livestream that began like any other, with Chrisean laughing, telling stories, and singing along while baby Jr. occasionally appeared in the frame. It all felt routine until a fleeting, controversial moment caught the attention of viewers, who claimed they witnessed her make a questionable parenting choice right there on camera, reigniting the cycle of debate and criticism. Some viewers swore they heard Chrisean mutter something under her breath about feeling overwhelmed and needing a break, words that, to some, sounded less like a joke and more like a cry for help. Within minutes, that tiny moment was snipped, edited, and stripped of all context before being blasted across the internet in bite-sized clips. But buried inside that same live stream was something no one saw coming, a glimpse of hope. As Chrisean bent down to pick something off the floor, baby Jr. made a sound and movement that left fans stunned. For months, updates about his health had been clouded with concern, with many fearing he was falling behind on major developmental milestones. Yet in this brief window, viewers claimed they saw him sit taller, stretch for a toy, and let out a new vocal sound, subtle but potentially groundbreaking progress. Suddenly, the clip carried two storylines at once: outrage over Chrisean's parenting and celebration of Junior's progress. Some fans immediately flipped from criticizing her to congratulating her, while others doubled down, arguing that one sign of growth didn't erase their concerns. When the stream ended, Chrisean likely thought it had been another casual check-in with her followers. Instead, within 20 minutes, it had exploded into a digital firestorm. A major gossip account posted a 12-second edit zoomed in on the slip, slowed it down, and captioned it with bold, accusatory text. Did Chrisean really just do this to Jr? The comments flooded in, thousands of strangers dissecting her every move. Within an hour, the clip spread like wildfire across TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and even Reddit threads dedicated to celebrity parenting fails. What made it worse was how the edit painted the moment. It wasn't just a lapse of attention anymore. It was packaged like evidence in a courtroom, designed to make her look guilty. Then came the so-called receipts. An anonymous insider account, known for dropping messy leaks about her relationship with Blueface, released screenshots of alleged DMIs. The messages claimed someone who had been at her house earlier said she'd been stressed all week, that Junior's crying had pushed her to her limit, and that she'd even been drinking with friends before going live. Whether real or fabricated, the details didn't matter, people believed them. The internet thrives on scandal, and the combination of the livestream clip and the alleged messages was all it needed to ignite a frenzy. Hashtags like #ProtectJr and #ChrisEan exposed shot into trending lists, and two opposing camps formed almost instantly. Critics declared she was too young, too reckless, and too unstable to be raising a child, arguing that someone needed to intervene before something worse happened. Supporters pushed back just as fiercely, pointing out that motherhood is never perfect, that stress doesn't make her unfit, and that the progress Junior showed on camera should outweigh speculation. The result was a digital battlefield where judgment, sympathy, and rumor clashed, each side convinced they knew the truth. Her critics came in hard, but her supporters clapped back just as fiercely. She's human. Every mom has bad days. Stop dragging her over a 10-second clip. You don't know her life, one fan wrote. To them, Chrisean wasn't a reckless figure, she was a mother trying to navigate the impossible weight of raising a child under a microscope. And then, almost by accident, the narrative shifted. Fans began re-watching the live stream, this time zooming in, not on Chrisean, but on baby Junior. In the slowdown replays, something remarkable emerged. Clear as day, Junior pushed himself from lying down into a seated position, clutching a toy with both hands, and letting out a sound that many swore resembled "ma." For a child who had been battling developmental hurdles from the start, this wasn't just a moment, it was a milestone. Chrisean had spoken before about the endless appointments, therapy sessions, and prayers, but until now, progress had been slow, almost invisible. Suddenly, this candid moment offered proof. Her baby was fighting forward. The comments section flipped almost overnight. Posts that had been tearing her apart were suddenly filled with messages like, "Y'all missing the real story, thriving, and look at him reaching for that toy. This is God's work." So proud of them both. What had started as pure condemnation transformed into a strange split screen of emotions. One half of the internet chastising Chrisean for her slip, the other rejoicing over Junior's breakthrough. It was emotional whiplash in real time, but for Chrisean, the damage had already been done. The negative takes traveled faster and louder than the positive ones, amplified by gossip blogs eager for clicks. Influencers with massive followings were mocking her, doubling down on the bad mom narrative, and the story was slipping further out of her control. That's when, in the middle of the night, she finally broke her silence. On Instagram, she posted a raw, unfiltered story, her eyes swollen from crying, her voice shaking but steady. "I'm so tired of y'all turning every little thing I do into a scandal," she said. "You don't see the 99% of the time I'm loving my son. You don't see the appointments, the sleepless nights, the prayers I send up every single day. But now you saw it's getting better. My baby's improving, and y'all can keep talking all you want." It was defiant, vulnerable, and unapologetically real. Fans flooded her DMs with love, calling her strong, a fighter, a mother who never gave up. But for her critics, the video felt like confirmation that she was indeed under crushing stress and, maybe not coping as well as she claimed. And just when the dust seemed to be settling, another curveball landed. A well-known entertainment blogger, infamous for exposing celebrity scandals, dropped a cryptic tweet: "If you thought that livestream was wild, wait until you see the footage from last week. Somebody's been hiding the truth about Junior's Chrisean, it ain't pretty." Within minutes, speculation spiraled. What footage? Who leaked it? Was this about to unravel into something much bigger than a 12-second clip? By sunrise, the tweet had transformed into a full-blown countdown across social platforms, with fans bracing for the next explosive chapter. Gossip outlets quickly jumped on the drama, plastering headlines like, "Is this the end for Chrisean?" and teasing that something even bigger was about to surface. Fans could not look away, refreshing their feeds non-stop until the promised clip finally appeared, and it turned out to be stranger and far more damaging than expected. The video was not from the night of the live stream at all, but from nearly a week earlier, reportedly caught on a neighbor's outdoor security camera pointed toward part of Chrisean's backyard. Though grainy, the footage was clear enough to recognize her pacing in a hoodie with her phone in one hand, while baby Jr sat nearby in a stroller. Her body language told a story of frustration, as she waved her free hand and seemed locked in a heated phone exchange. Midway through, the tension escalated when she walked back inside the house, leaving Jr outside in the stroller alone for nearly 5 minutes. The blogger who posted it wasted no time piling on, mocking viewers for obsessing over a live stream moment while ignoring what had happened days earlier. The outrage came fast. Critics filled the comments with accusations of neglect, insisting that Jr needed a calmer, more stable environment, and that Chrisean's stress was no excuse. But not everyone agreed. Defenders argued that it was a fenced yard and that 5 minutes was hardly neglect, calling the surveillance itself invasive and sick. The debate spiraled until Chrisean's usually quiet older sister entered the conversation through Instagram Live, directly calling out the blogger. She accused them of chasing clout, explained she was there that day, and clarified that Chrisean had only stepped inside to grab the baby's bottle. To her, the outrage was not about protecting Jr, but about people rooting for Chrisean's downfall or defense that both softened some critics and fueled the fire even more. The backyard leak revealed more than Chrisean probably intended the world to know. Her sister had been present during the incident, raising suspicions that whoever passed along the footage might have been closer to the family than anyone expected. As that layer of tension unfolded, sharp-eyed viewers caught something else buried in the grainy clip. While Jr sat in his stroller, he wasn't just fidgeting but actively kicking his legs, swatting at a dangling toy, and showing signs of progress that supporters recognized immediately. For many who had been following his developmental journey, this was a breakthrough moment, proof that milestones were being reached even before the viral livestream incident. That realization shifted the narrative. Suddenly, questions arose about whether the stress Chrisean had been displaying was less about irresponsibility and more about the pressure of managing her son's demanding therapies. Then, late that night, the story twisted again when an alleged insider released a muffled voice note, supposedly from one of Jr.'s therapists, claiming he was advancing faster than expected, responding to sounds, reaching, even trying to pull himself upright, but hinting that the chaos surrounding his home life might be slowing him down. Though unverified, the clip spread like wildfire, transforming the conversation from one of parenting fails to speculation about how public scrutiny itself might be impacting Jr.'s progress. Twitter erupted with side-by-side comparisons of past and present clips, with many fans convinced that the more Chrisean avoided the party scene and stayed focused on home life, the more visible Jr.'s improvements became. That's when Blueface, silent until now, broke through the noise from behind bars with a statement posted by his team. "Y'all better give my baby mama her flowers. JR's getting better and she's the reason. Stop playing with her name." His defense, rare and unexpected, shifted the tone, leaving even critics unsure whether to dismiss it as strategy or see it as genuine support. Still, the tension wasn't over. The blogger who had dropped the backyard video promised a part 2 within 48 hours, teasing that it would reveal what exactly had Chrisean so heated on the phone that day. Speculation exploded. Was it a fight with family, a friend, or something tied directly to Jr.'s care? By morning, it wasn't just blogs fanning the flames. The wider entertainment world had latched on. #Chriseaner was trending in multiple countries, with the discourse divided. Parenting forums lit up with fiery threads, and a viral TikTok from a mom influencer, viewed over 2 million times, declared, "This isn't about fame. It's about a child's well-being. If you can't put the phone down and focus for 5 minutes, maybe you need to rethink your priorities." That post triggered a flood of duets, some moms echoing her frustration while others jumped to Chrisean's defense, pointing to Jr.'s obvious progress as proof she was doing something right. Then celebrity voices joined in. Rapper Cash Doll tweeting in support of Chrisean's fight for her son, while reality star Masika Keisha countered on livestream, insisting the public needed to stop normalizing dysfunction just because someone is famous. The media machine wasted no time turning Christian's backyard drama into headline fuel. TMZ splashed a bold banner across their site. Chrisean Rock, neglectful or misunderstood mom. Internet explodes over backyard video. The Shade Room followed suit, running a side-by-side clip of JR from 3 months ago compared to now. Captioned with a provocative question, "Progress can't be denied, but is the drama helping or hurting?" The frenzy only deepened when veteran voices chimed in. Wendy Williams, back on her podcast after months of silence, devoted a segment to the saga. With her signature mix of shade and blunt honesty, she warned, "I love Chrisean, but she's in her own way. This is the kind of spotlight you don't want when you're trying to land brand deals. Trust me, money people are watching." And behind the curtain, Wendy's point rang true. Word leaked that a major baby brand had been in early talks with Chrisean for a campaign centered on Junior's recovery story. But after the scandal erupted, insiders claimed the company was hesitating. The irony: the controversy had tripled her engagement in under 48 hours, yet in the middle of the noise, a surprising ally emerged. A nonprofit dedicated to supporting children with special needs released a TikTok defending her. Their spokesperson said, "We've seen this cycle too many times. A young mother under a microscope, her missteps amplified while her hard work gets ignored. The truth is, progress like Junior's doesn't happen without relentless effort behind closed doors." That statement reshaped the online dialogue again. Suddenly, threads appeared unpacking the financial and emotional weight of therapies, doctor visits, and specialized care. Fans began to suggest that the very stress people condemned her for might actually stem from her fight to keep her son on track. But sympathy barely had time to breathe before the blogger who ignited the storm resurfaced with a chilling tease. "Y'all making excuses, wait until you see part 2. That single tweet set speculation ablaze. What could be worse than leaving a baby unattended in a stroller? Predictions flooded social feeds. Some claimed it would show Chrisean clashing with a social worker, others whispered about a heated money dispute with one of Junior's therapists. Every hour without the promised clip only stoked the fire. People literally set alarms, determined not to miss the drop. Then came Chrisean's own cryptic response, a black Instagram story with stark white text. "Y'all better be ready when I speak." The move only raised the stakes. By the time the blogger finally went live, at precisely 8:07 p.m., more than 100,000 people had tuned in within minutes, the chat scrolling at lightning speed. "Drop it. Show us. We've been waiting." The blogger grinned, phone shaking slightly, before offering one last warning. "This ain't what y'all think, it's worse." Then the clip rolled. It picked up exactly where part 1 had ended. Chrisean in the backyard, pacing with her phone, Junior strapped in his stroller, but instead of neglect or a meltdown, the audio revealed something far darker. A man's voice, low and sharp, cut through the background. "You told them he wasn't responding. So you could get more." Chrisean snapped back, her voice breaking. "Shut up, you don't know what I've been through." That single exchange sent shockwaves across the internet. Was she exaggerating Junior's condition for financial gain? Was this insurance fraud or a desperate mother exaggerating symptoms to secure the resources her child desperately needed? Before anyone could decide, the man stepped into frame. And in that moment, the story went from controversy to full-blown scandal. It wasn't Blueface, wasn't a family member, was one of JR's own physical therapists. This revelation sent shock waves through the comments section. People began rewinding, screenshotting, zooming in on his nama tag,